One thing I enjoy is when I'm on vacation, I might be walking around for the day, and as you walk around, especially in a new place, you might take snapshots of where you are, and you can sort of go through your day and see, oh, I was here, and then I went here, and then I sat down in a park, and then I visited a site, or I had a meal. And one thing I like to do on a typical day is sort of check in with myself and take a snapshot of how I'm doing throughout the day. People always ask, like, how are you doing? And I think very often people don't really, they may not mean it, or sometimes they may actually mean it, like, how are things going, or how are you doing? Um, and it's something that I like to check with myself, like, how am I doing? And so I might be in the middle of a very busy morning, for example, and running from a meeting to a meeting. And, you know, okay, I've got to take care of this thing, and I'm working on my something on a project, and maybe I'm thinking that the I'm getting a delivery, and all these things are going on. And it's nice to pause and just say, how am I doing right now? And I do this much the same way that I might start a meditation, that I'll just settle down for a moment and check in with my body, check in with my breathing, and let myself just slow down and pause for a minute. See what's going on with my thinking. Is it fast? Is it slow? What state do I feel like I'm in, or what mood? Am I having a good day? Just really what's going on in this moment. Just like when you're on vacation, like, how would I frame this shot? What would I want to take a picture of? What's grabbing my attention in this moment right now? Where is my attention? Was it lost in something, or is it more of a landscape view? And really just taking a momentary snapshot of how I'm doing in that moment. And then I'll let it go and get back to work, jump into something, jump into a conversation, go and exercise. And then a little bit later, again, sort of pause and take a snapshot of how I'm doing then. And pretty much the same thing, just checking in with my body. What's showing up in my body? What's showing up in my feelings? What's showing up in my thinking? Because a lot of times, I know for myself, I'll go through the day and so much is going on internally, but I'm not taking a moment to process it. And it doesn't always make sense to stop and process everything. You have to just be in the moment and respond to things. But it's amazing sometimes. I might come off of a very intense meeting and then check out what's going on in my body, and there's a lot going on, or I may have acquired a bunch of tension, or I'm holding on to a thought because I don't want to forget something. And just checking into that, it might remind me, like, oh, that's something I should write down so that I don't have to hold it in the back of my mind, because you can only hold so many things. So again, I'll pause and check in with my breathing, check in with my thinking, check in with my body. And by thinking, I mean, am I recounting things? Am I projecting into the future of things I'm planning to do? Am I making pictures? Am I saying things to myself? Am I replaying a conversation? And generally just taking an inventory. And then I'll jump back in, and maybe after a little while, I might pause again and again take a snapshot. And it's interesting to take several snapshots throughout the day, so you can notice, okay, wow, in this one I was feeling this, and a little bit later I was feeling this, and so on and so on. Sometimes certain states will correlate to certain parts of the day. I've talked a lot about how I like to put certain tasks at different parts of the day when I have a lot of energy for them or a lot of mental capacity. Some tasks are, better handled in the morning than in the late afternoon when you might be starting to slow down a little bit. And then even in the evening, I might pause a little bit and just sort of check in and see, okay, how am I doing now? Or even if I'm out with friends, just pausing for a moment wherever I am, just to check in. Sometimes it's nice to pause before a meal so you can really enjoy the meal. And just taking this inventory of what's going on right now. Sometimes I'll do it after a conversation just to see, are there any repercussions of that conversation that I'm still sort of holding, or am I letting things go for now and just getting on with my day? So it's actually a fun activity that you can try out, just taking a little snapshot throughout your day without stopping to do a big formal ritual, just pausing for, just takes maybe 30 seconds to pause and check in and then jump back in on whatever's next.